closing, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I wish to go over the facts with you one more time. The sound you just heard is the sound of dreaded fear. Fear of mutilation, fear of being ravaged, worse yet, fear of the imminent disfigurement of a young child, a mother, a grandmother rocking sweetly, and you would think safely, upon her porch. Not aware that lurking ever closer is the very beast that in one overpowering moment would rip her limb from limb. This beast's name was Jet. A beast set loose to wander the innocent streets in search of prey. Yes, this beast is a trained killer, trained to ignore the screams of pain from its victims as it increases its rabid grip around the poor creature's throat till it dies suffocating in its own blood. My client should be commended. My client should be no, still publicly applauded for performing a civil duty at immense personal risk. A risk in taking on this vermin with only a small shotgun and raw courage. Protecting what, as it states in the Constitution, is rightfully his to do so. He faced an enemy more trained and calculating than anyone has. A hell-bound, prowling solely on the instincts instilled in him the thousands of years of murdering into his bloodline. My client acted solely in self-defense, solely out of love for his family, and did what any of you would have done. He bounded outside, stared his killer straight into its beady eyes, blocked his ears from its hideous, petrifying growling, frothing venom from its mouth, its muscled back hunched over, baying for blood. It takes the position to pounce, its giant claws lashing at his flesh. My client destroyed the beast with 3 or 4 shots to its immense torso, rendering the killer unable to proceed with its premeditated raid. I see before me many younger women, and I hope that you will realize with gratitude you now owe my client as you walk the streets late at night, safe and away from the gnawing, ripping and tearing of flesh from your limbs, from the mindless attack of that killing machine. I know you are asking yourself in amazement, what sort of person would bring an assassin like this into your community to terrorize you? What evil pleasures can a person like that derive from having the sight of his trained slaughtering machine returning proudly to his property, the destroyed torso of an elderly grandmother hanging limply from his razor-sharp jaws? Is this the person who walks among you? Smiles, making nice gestures to your children, invites you to his home without reason, just for a chat, you may say. A cold-hearted, mentally ill person of the lowest moral fibres is the only way I can describe you. And where is this man? Take a good look at him. Burn his image into your minds. There he is. There he is. This man dragged my client into this courtroom to extract monies from him. For what? to go right out and buy another monster. Probably bigger and far more fearsome than the last. And who will you see laughing at your tragic loss? That's who. That's all I wish to say, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, please, do not hesitate to thank my client, or you might say, hero, anytime you see him in the streets.
You killed my dog! Jed, you always said you're gonna kill him. If it didn't look at you, you murderer, you!
This outburst of abuse towards my client is what we must stop. And you, of the jury, have the power to remove this demented gamekeeper from your streets.
What was I to do? What was I to do? I was protecting my family. I have the right to do so.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the best friend a man has in the world may turn against him and become his enemy. His son or daughter that he has reared with loving care may prove ungrateful. Those nearest and dearest to us, those whom we trust with our happiness and our good name, may become traitors to their faith. The money that a man has, he may lose. It flies away from him, perhaps, when he needs it most. A man's reputation may be sacrificed in a moment of ill-considered action. The people who are prone to fall on their knees to do us honor when success is with us may be the first to throw stones of malice when failure settles its clouds above our heads. The one absolutely unselfish friend that a man can have in this selfish world, the one that never deserts him, the one that never proves ungrateful or treacherous, is his dog. A man's dog stands by him in prosperity and in poverty, in health and in sickness. He will sleep on the cold, cold ground where the wintry winds blow and the snow drives fiercely, if only he may be near his master's side. He will kiss the hand that has no food to offer. He will lick the wounds and sores that come in encounters with the roughness of the world. He guards the sleep of his papa master as if he were a prince. When all other friends desert, he remains. When riches take wings and reputation fails to pieces, he is a constant in love, as the sun in its journey through the heavens. If fortune drives the masters forth, an outcast in the world, friendless and homeless, the faithful dog asks no higher privilege than that of accompanying him to guard him against his enemies. And when the last scene of all comes, and death takes his master in its embrace, and his body is laid away in the cold, cold ground, no matter if all other friends pursue their ways, there by the graveside will the noble dog be found, his head between his paws, his eyes sad but open, in alert watchfulness, faithful and true, even in death. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I give you this monstrous, killing beast, Jack.
shooting a jet.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
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 Not guilty.
Further evidence is needed.
Guilty. Guilty.
Not guilty.